to follow the they have to follow the protocol. Unless the protocol is or provisions, whatever levels, at what levels the provisions were given, if we won't follow and if we compromise, disasters will take place. You may argue, sir, there were problems at even when manual systems were there. Yes, I knew. Even when a black sheep will always be there. I can say when PF accounts were used to be maintained, most of you may be aware or may not be aware, but whenever the annual reconciliation is taking time, the pencil balances we used to put on the manual ledgers, those pencil entries in the PF ledger, we used to treat them as there is a sanctity for that. It cannot be erased. We will not erase them, and we will not tamper with that. But I saw most of you may be aware that umpteen number of times in many divisions and many railways, those were tampered, and say 1,000 rupees balance, it has been made 1 lakh rupees, and the amount was given to the subscribers, PF subscribers. We have seen, and in manual system, we have seen that say Damodar Prasad has applied for a loan, but that was given, that was taken to some other account, and some other person has taken. Even when there is a cashier who has to pay, duly witnessed by someone of the department, that also we have seen. So the problems we faced, and we have come up to this stage, and when computerization takes place also, if we witness frauds taking place, that means the internal check system is not understood by our own accounts people. Say, for example, if my accounts people, they themselves, if they indulge in the they tamper with the account IPAS system, then with whom to blame? We have to question ourselves. So with this introduction, let me go through. First, I devised this in two ways. One is, first, let us go through what is provided in the code, and then how the systems, new systems in IPAS, etc., how they were misused, and what are the changes that have been suggested. Let us go through, and then we will have a question session also in the last 15 to 20 minutes. So let us do I would like to know from all of you also, what is there in your mind on this internal check. Sometimes we'll be feeling that accounts provisions, whatever in the internal check that were there, no, it cannot be done. But mind you, whenever a fraud takes place, the railway board letters, they will come as provided in the code, why letter no so and so have not been followed, or as per the instructions that we have given, so these instructions are not followed, isn't it? So when that is the situation, now let us go into because we should know actually the main problem with our accounts department is that normally when I joined also, whatever my predecessor normally on the table beneath the glass, he will keep some allocations and etc., or some things what we are supposed to do, and that only I will follow. We will never look at our codal provisions and what is there in that. Of course, mostly that may be correct, but hearsay, we'll ask the subhead, or we used to ask the section officer, and then carry out our duties. those were days gone. Now we have to know what is there in the system. Tomorrow at some time, no, computer has given like this, therefore I have passed. No, it is a lame excuse. So we should know what is there in the code, because everything what is not required, we knew. Simple totaling previously we used to do, that is not required now, because it is available in the computer automatically. It will give. So these are all the things. That means where we have to concentrate and where we have to strengthen our check system. These we should have a clear idea. Unless we have that clarity in our mind, executive ne bhijaya and पीछे and our enforcement stamp लगा के चेक किया क्या? Yes, चेक किया. और section officer, because he thinks that there is a signature, he thinks that AA has checked and he will also not check. And then it goes to accounts officer, because two signatures are there. Accounts officer thinks that they did their job. How do you know that we have done a perfect job? Everything, it is available in our code books. Let us see. We should know that in accounts code, para one, whatever functions of accounts code department were enumerated, some 7 to 8 points were enumerated. There, one of the important point is that the internal check with reference to rules, orders of the transactions affecting the receipts and expenditure. So it is not related to expenditure alone. That is why for receipts also, we have got our internal, there is a traffic accounts office exclusively for receipts. We have got that office. So with reference to rules and orders, we have to check. So this is one of the important functions of accounts department. Inter alia, there are other functions. This is one. And another one is the prompt settlement of proper claims against the railway. I italicized prompt settlement of proper claims. Prompt settlement means immediately you have to do. If you delay the thing, that means there is something ulterior motive is there. But when I say prompt, and it should be a proper claim. So don't be carried away. No, quickly you do. Sir ne bola, quickly you do. So let me put chapa and then put up to officer. No, 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 that is not the issue. That is not which we wanted, we are meant for, or for that is not for job for which we were paid. Just like the other day, I was making a mention that the C&AG department, it is not there to pat the railways or pat the government. It is meant for finding fault. So our job is maybe it is not palatable to someone else, but we have to do our job. When I said prompt, not I, it is the codal provision that clearly says that we have to do prompt settlement. Prompt settlement means, don't think that because Damodar Sahab ne bata di, so piche chapa mar ke put up kar do. Nahin, no, never, never. It is proper claim. The claim should be proper. How do you ensure that the claim is proper? How do you know that the person to whom you are paying the salary is on our rolls? How do you know that the bill coming to you, either in physical form or in the system online, it is proper? It is original one. It is not a duplicate one. It is not a fictitious one. How do you know? So these are the things which we have to keep it in mind when we read about the internal check. So these two things, please keep it in mind. Internal check means it is not just it is the job of the accounts clerk. So whatever he puts up, आराम से मैं साइन कर दूंगा और मैं साइन करने के बाद अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर भी साइन करेगा तो चले जाएगा. बाद में घोटाला हो गई तो अगर लॉस हुआ तो कौन जिम्मेदारी होगा? पूरे के पूरे जिम्मेदारी होगी, वो जिम्मेदारी वो अलग बात है, दैट इज पर्सनल. बट व्हाट अबाउट अकाउंट्स ऑफिस रेपुटेशन? अकाउंट्स ऑफिस, why we used to have one grade pay extra than our executive people? Please think. We are not meant to say नहीं फंड्स नहीं है, फंड्स कहीं भी है तो ठीक है हम पास कर देंगे. अगर एग्रीमेंट डीएफ में है तो डीआरएफ में फंड्स है, डीआरएफ में अरे बदल के दे दो मैं पास करूंगा. और उन्हें हम बोलने की जरूरत भी नहीं है, उन्हें खुद बदल के बेचता है. You knew pretty well that agreement is for DF, Development Fund, but that fellow sends for DRF, and DRF funds are available certificate रहता है, and agreement you won't see, and I won't see. अरे इतना फर्क है, ये क्या है, ये डीएफ को जाना है, ये डीआरएफ को भेज रहे, क्यों भेज रहे? फंड्स अवेलेबल है तो भी कहीं भी फंड्स अगर रेवेन्यू डाले तो भी हम पास कर देते. ये है क्या इंटरनल चेक? दैट इज नॉट इंटरनल चेक. प्लीज सी व्हाट इट सेज, prompt settlement. Yes, that we have to do, but of proper claims. वो क्लेम प्रॉपर है या नहीं है वो भी हमारा कर्तव्य है, हमारे इंटरनल चेक में बोल दिया है. सो इंटरनल चेक माने तो क्या है? अब आएंगे. इंटरनल चेक is the check exercised by accounts officer on behalf of railway administration on the financial transactions. अब यहाँ पर फाइनेंशियल ट्रांसैक्शन माने तो बोथ रिसीट एंड एक्सपेंडिचर, दोनों पे हमारा अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर जो भी चेक करते हैं, अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर माने खाली अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर नहीं है, अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर एंड बिलो हिम whoever is entrusted with the job of internal check. ये किस लिए कर रहे हैं? प्लीज सी, ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द रेलवे एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. ये रेलवे हमारा अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट किसके लिए काम कर रहा है? इट इज फॉर अकाउंट्स, इट इज फॉर रेलवेज. वी आर पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. व्हेन वी आर पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ मैनेजमेंट, वी हैव टू डू आवर जॉब. We need not do synodian coordination job. We have to do our own job, and then see why the finance is there, to do internal check of the transactions. Otherwise, this bill passing or check writing, everything can be given to executive, isn't it? Yes, my words may be harsh, but you try to understand the reality. There will be a problem. Yes, I can agree. Suppose you won't pass the OT bill, there will be a commotion because the people have worked overtime. But when you stop the overtime bill, you knew that it is a controllable primary unit. When it is a controllable primary unit, who has given you authority to go beyond the budget? Similarly, suppose some work charger post is there. Suppose the extension to the work charger post is not forthcoming. Even then, you continue to pass the bill. Who has given the power to us? If you do, or suppose some sanction to a particular post is lapsed, what is our duty? Our duty is to send proper notice to concerned personal branch that, yes, this is over. For next 3 months, I'll give provisional payment. You please obtain the orders of the head of the office. And then for 3 months only you can pay. Then you have to stop the payment. And that 3-month amount also, you have to keep under objectionable items. How many of us we are doing this? Not only that, when I am saying that the internal check, what you are supposed to do, suppose it is a revenue post, it is a work charger post, immediately you have to transfer it to the worker. And we'll never ask for a sanction memorandum. And when we don't ask the sanction memorandum, and the personal branch and in the executive branch, they stopped giving the work codes to which the work charge report is chargeable. Because we are not questioning. When we don't question, they do that. They take it our accounts department light. So these are all the things. These are the essential. I'm not telling about the internet jargon. No, these are the essential things that are available in our code books. Why we are not following them? What is the problem? Did anyone ask you that you even though it is a work charge report, you put under revenue only? Did any officer ask you? Never, never. They'll say promptly you do and proper claim you do. So this is what it was given in the accounts code. Then, with reference to what you will do internal check. You will do internal check with reference to rule position, with reference to the instructions, with reference to the standards of financial propriety, code books, manuals, SOP, किसका sanction लेना, किसका sanction ले रहे हैं. Is it at lower level only it is sufficient, or it should go to higher level? So these are all the things which we have to keep it in mind. अगर एक expenditure bill आए तो we will not look at the sanction memorandum also, or we will not look at the funds where they are available. If that is the case, then what for accounts department? Because our major heads, minor heads, sub-major heads, sub-head, detailed head, primary unit, everything, if it is now it is there in the computer, and that can be passed by engineering branch itself. We have to keep the honor of our accounts department only by doing our job. Our job is internal check, and book section job is to do bookkeeping. If book section also does the internal check, then that means there is no rule, or there is no rhyme, or there is no financial discipline in our finance department itself. I'll tell a small example. In one of my division, all of you aware that whenever unpaid amount comes, that amount will come to our book section, and some fellow will be knowing that वो तो वापस आ गया बोल के, then immediately that fellow will come, sir, मैं गलती से नंबर गलती से किया, मुझे पैसे तनख्वाह नहीं मिल रहा है, बहुत ये हो रहा है हमारा घर में, शोर मचा रहे पूरे लोग, तो इसीलिए मेरा अकाउंट नंबर ये है, दे दो बोले तो बुक सेक्शन वाले चेंज करके दे दिए, तो पे ऑर्डर पास करे, तो पे ऑर्डर उन्हें खुद बनाए तो क्या होता है? कैन यू कॉल इट एज इंटरनल चेक? ये हमारा इंटरनल चेक में चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस, ये आपने सुने ही होगा, चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस. ये चेक्स एंड बैलेंस क्या होते हैं? एक डिपार्टमेंट एक काम करे तो दूसरा डिपार्टमेंट दूसरे काम करते हैं, वो चेक करते हैं. हमारे अकाउंट्स में भी हमारा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सेक्शन विल डू bill preparing, because they are also accounts people only. Can't they pass it? No. Then when such bifurcation, when we are dealing with reference to our pay bills, then why a book section fellow can or should pass a pay order, prepare a pay order and pass the pay order, which is not his job. What he is supposed to do, he has to give that to the section to whom it pertains. So deposit ये में डाल दो. If अगर PF है तो deposit PF में डाल दो. Deposit pension DCR है तो pension section को दे दो. This is how they have to do. Then that section, it is the responsibility of that section. You are not supposed to think of the other fellow work, to do other fellow's job. We have to keep that sanctity. Otherwise, there is no point of internal check. अगर उन्हें खुद रिसीव करके, उन्हें खुद चेंज करके, उन्हें खुद पे ऑर्डर बना के, उन्हें खुद पास कर रहे तो क्या, then where is the sanctity for our internal check mechanism where checks and balances have to be seen? Where is check and where is balance? Then one more important point is that any transaction, whatever we are passing, it is 100% checked before CO7 is prepared. That is the internal check. And one more point is that test check. This test check, I'm sorry to say that it has become a farce. Why test check is prescribed? Different levels. अगर सेक्शन ऑफिसर के चेक के रूप में, चेक के अंदर नहीं आए तो सच आइटम्स सेक्शन ऑफिसर हैज टू डू. अगर जो भी आइटम्स अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर के सिग्नेचर तक नहीं आए तो वो आइटम्स उन्हें चुनना, सेलेक्ट करना, and then he has to do that test check. And this test check, it is not finding fault. It is for improving ourselves. Always take it in positive sense. अभी systemic test check भी करा रहे हैं, especially by J grade officers. We are inviting the systemic test checks. That is, एक system, suppose books module, suppose budget module, और internal checking sections का module एक ले लेना, and वो कैसा काम कर रहे, what are the defects in that. वो system ठीक ढंग से हमारा दिमाग, because it is on computer, you don't think that everything is fine. If it is so, then why test check is required? No, not required. But test check is mandated because there are some items which we have to, some validations may not be there in the system. So those validations we have to ensure, and then suppose a test check में आ गया तो क्रिस वाले को बोल देते हैं, क्रिस वाले चेंज कर देते हैं. Say for example, my agreement value is say 2 lakhs. Already expenditure 2 lakhs हो गए, and suppose दूसरा bill 2 lakhs के ऊपर आए तो, and if my system allows, or you leave about system, suppose manually also, if it comes to you, do you pass that bill? Then why we are not applying that mind here? Because it in IPAS, actually in IPAS, as soon as the agreement value say 25, beyond 25%, that check should be there. Of course, that validation is not there. Had that validation been there, the bill would have been stopped at executive level itself. It would not come to accounts. Okay, that validation is not there. It has come to you. Because it has come to you, does it mean that it has become a proper claim and you have to settle promptly? I feel no. I have to apply it because the essential features of that internal check, if those items are lost track, then such disasters will continue to take place. N number of system improvements you bring. Suppose I say these provisions are to be done at accounts assistant level, or these are to be done at section officer level, and these are to be done at officer level. Suppose such privileges were given, and I want to read my book, and section officer has to go to market, so therefore he will give those privileges to our accounts clerk, and accounts clerk will use right top, bottom to top, all the privileges if he has done, and blaming him alone. So these are the things which we have to keep in mind. We have to be very, very cautious. Just like that, it has come. So therefore, I will not apply my mind. And whatever crash comes in from executive, tomorrow we will put a bargain. We will put an embargo. Suppose budget, suppose 100 rupees is there. Beyond 100 rupees, no bill can be passed. If that embargo comes, is it acceptable to us? For me as a budget officer, I am very, very, very happy, because for me there will be no excess over expenditure, excess of expenditure or funds. I need not tell C&AG will be happy, and my parliament is also will be very happy. If we want, yes, that can be done. But what happened to our brain? Why we are not looking at it? Simply it has come from executive. So even though there are no validations in our system, because system is allowing, so I can pass against a 10 rupee estimate, I can pass 100 rupee bills against a particular allocation or against a particular source of financing. If I get the bill and certifications, mere certification is there, I can pass the bill. Is it that is it that very poor standard of internal check system in which we are working? I feel I will discuss later on what are the items which we have come across. Even after I said prior to computerization, what were the problems? Yes, we have come to computerization. Even after computerization also, there are many things were improved. So to that extent, you need not worry. But where you have to worry, you are not worrying. Where you have to check, you are not checking. There, our accounts office is failing. Once we plug those loopholes, and if we apply our brain, had it been in manual system, will I pass? This is a question which we have to put. Once we do that, then things will all right. Then what is the remedial action that is to be taken? Writing to CRIS or raising a service request, all those things we can do later. But why we are keeping our brain shut to those items which are pouring into our internal check iPass system? That is not envisaged. When privileges were not there, that is a different issue. But even after privileges also, if you are not following, then what is the use? That is most important. Then this part, internal check of financial scrutiny of sanctions, this is done by our finance section, because they will examine whether that expenditure is required or not. And most importantly, the finance directorate concurrence, if they are not there, then the propriety of competency of sanction and the propriety of sanction, these are the things which we have to ensure, especially in valuable letters. This issues with the finance directorate concurrence. Whenever any finance implications are there, the letter will clearly say. And nowadays, the finance directorate also, they are signing on the sanction letter. So competency of sanction and propriety of, once this is done, our expenditure section did not do anything. Then only thing is the scrutiny of sanction. Whenever from finance section it comes, even in expenditure section also, we have to see that sanction is okay, and the sanction is for limited period or it is for unlimited period. If unlimited period, now and then expenditure section can tell them again, go back to accounts and then get a reconcurrence because of expenditure. Huge expenditure is being incurred, whereas the rates have fallen. In such cases, always accounts department, as an internal checking department, expenditure section, it can always stand. Because that once a sanction is given, we don't think that that sanction is because it is permanent in nature, so it can be continued. No, it can be reviewed. Then the sanctions for a longer period and sanctions of permanent nature, yes, we have to do periodical review. And all sanctions, we knew that from the date of issue only, they will be applicable. And back date, if it is given in the sanction memorandum, it is okay. Then delegation made by competent authority, and if it is done, then whether finance concurrence is there or for that or not, we have to see. Because delegation is there, so I can do my internal check. No, even that delegation has been done with finance concurrence or not. It is the job of the internal checking section. Then the sanctions, if any, is coming, whether they have competency to do that. That means, as per our SOP, that authority is having the power to do that. Then sanction is very clear. What is the work to be done and what is the payment that is to be made and up till what period it will be paid and to whom it is payable, who is the bill passing officer, all these things it will be available. And the rule or order sanction does not contravene the general or specific orders. Normally, we will look into that. Suppose it is against to a particular order, then we will not honor that particular sanction in the internal check. You will ask them to go back to finance section. So sanction is to spend a definite amount up to specified period, both in words and figures. If any difference is there, generally we'll take as words figure as correct figure, but even then you can refer back to finance that there is a problem. Because sanction in the sanction memorandum, something is wrong, you can always find fault and then return the claim to the executive department. And whatever expenditure that was spent, is it on the same purpose for which sanction was recorded? That is most important. Sanction is something and the expenditure done is something. So sanction is for construction of the building, but the expenditure incurred and bill you received is for whitewashing. Will you accept it? I am giving very small examples which easily understandable. This language maybe is something different, but definitely the purpose of these instructions on internal check are very clear. Then expenditure proposals, whenever we come, there will be a pre-check and post-check. To spend before the check is done. Whereas pre-check always, any other than post-check items, any other claim, it is pre-check only, and that pre-check is also 100%. There is no laxity because our codal provision is very clear. It is pre-check only. And post-check, few items, very few items, like our impressed cash, because some authority was given to the executive, let them spend, absolutely no issue. And when they come for recouping, then they give all allocations, whether they have received or not, DMTR particulars they give, and whether they have utilized it or not, that also they will give on the back of the voucher, accept it, and then recoup it. But you may be getting a doubt, sir, agar usme kuch galat hai to kya karna? Whenever, because already expenditure was already incurred. So there you cannot disallow. Only thing is you can put under objection. Because the expenditure already incurred. So objection you can keep. And what is required to be done, you tell them. And then if you are satisfied with that action, then allow it, remove from objection. So this is about post check. And one more item which I can say, the amount which you have given for local purchase to the officers. It is post check you have to do. So such items will be there. There are labor patients which paid at the station. They will be prepared at the station itself and they make payment. You need not worry much about that. So along with the station vouchers, it will come and then you send to the respective division and then they will accept it. And if any problem is there, they will raise the issue. So this is post check, and pre-check always 100% right. So this already I told. Then competent to incur, proper estimates have been prepared and approved by competent authority for works expenditure. That is always, estimates will be there. But beyond estimate, if any claim comes, are we following? Already I told. So we have to keep, even though, because it has come, the bill has come in I-Pass, that means I have to pass. Otherwise, the contractor will be, or otherwise contractor will be, will not be doing the job. No, it is not your problem. It is the problem of executive. Let executive go for reappropriations. Or let executive, you will be, your internal checking section where our works register maintained. Their people will be there and they will be knowing that 80% of the expenditure has already been incurred. Then the work cannot be completed within within the balance 20%. Then they knew that yes, a revised estimate has to be prepared. Let them prepare the revised estimate. Why you are breaking your rule? Okay, let him say that no, yes, 20% it will be done, and here and there some 5% extra will be there. I will explain in completion report. Please allow. Okay, put up to accounts officer and then take orders and then clear it. There should not be any issue. Suppose even such things also, if I give to I-Pass, then you cannot pass the bill. Tomorrow, if the internal check frauds, crores and crores of rupees, if it is going to happen, then tomorrow such embargo also will be there, such validations also will be kept. Then we will be happy. The bill will not come to us at executive level only, it will be stopped. If the system is worsens to that extent, it will happen. Then covered by the grant, or this also we are not seeing. Their cash portion in the I-Pass, it will be there. But even the validation is not there. We are passing, even it goes beyond that. It is indicating that it is showing that 100 rupees only available, but you are passing 101 rupee bill also. Why you are passing? Because it is allowing. Tomorrow's validation is there. You will not pass. Then what? Why you are not implementing now? And then why you will not do at that point of time when validation comes? Why we are not using our mind, applying that mind for canons of financial sanction limited period is not. This is one more important point. Suppose a temporary revenue post is there, or a work charge post is there, or the delivery period is so much only. Even thereafter, the delivery has taken place, and that should be covered by a memorandum modification to the PO. Or if it is a work, the period of completion, date of completion, it has to be modified through a subsidiary agreement. Suppose the quantities are going beyond 25%, then that subsidiary agreement need to be entered into without variations. And simply, even the measurement book is recorded, and the bill is also prepared and it comes to our accounts department, even if we won't stop, then what for? These internal check measures that were given in the accounts code. Please, these are the things which we have to do. And one more important point, correctly classified. The executive, he may not classify. He may, as I said, he says that it is a revenue, because revenue funds are available. Suppose in DRF funds are not there, or in RRSK funds are there. So he will give that allocation and simply will pass. Okay, for time being you have passed, but later on, will you reverse it through JV? Will you tell to your boss that, sir, this is the problem, that is why I am doing like this? No. This is very, very difficult. And then one more point, are we recording that properly? And then tomorrow, if same bill, once again it is signed, again in IPAS, if it won't reflect that with same voucher number, same so when this problem is there, then it is our duty to tell them. In most of the cases, see this kind of action, this is available in our internal check, but we fail, and the audit will take care of this. Many times you may have seen many audit paras, they refer to this. When they do that, then why we are failing here? As an internal checking authority, why we are not following this? Why we are not finding fault? Suppose 25,000 can be spent in a station, suppose impressed you have given. And that impressed 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, suppose 10 lakhs furniture repairs only you are getting. Absolutely, there is no irregularity. In the internal check, 25,000 limit is there, 25,000 he is spending on furniture repairs. 10 lakhs you have passed. Is there any irregularity? No irregularity as far as internal check is concerned. But what happens to our ingenuity, that why he is spending on a particular purpose? That means the code says that beyond arithmetical things, you have to think. You have to judge that particular transaction. That is the most important. This, my today's session is only that because some mission is available and mission is doing some garbage, let us not take that garbage. Let us try to distinguish between what is water and what is milk. That is most important in these years, age of computerization. This is most important, which we have to think. Then it also says leave about our manuals. Even departmental manuals also, it is our duty to check. Many of our departments, many of our in accounts branches, we do not have manuals also. When manual is there, then you can pinpoint and you can elaborate the procedure, what some X is to do and what Y is supposed to do and Z is supposed to do, you can have. Leave about that. Even now, this or it says the departmental manuals, other departmental manuals, if any are there, we have to check, go through them also, and check the records which are not coming to accounts. That is through inspections, program inspections. In our accounts department, in codal provision says that most experienced staff to be given in the inspection sections. because they need to guide. They need to guide because they are in my division. And in my division, suppose they ask for some information or some suggestion, I should be in a position to tell. When I will be in a position to tell? When I have got experience. If I am novice and the executive is also novice, then what kind of a guidance I can give? In the inspections manual, it clearly says that whenever a new office has come up, within 3 months, my staff has to go and then inspect. If we are not aware of the rules and what is that, we can guide them. That is most important. Then the bills, yes, already I told variations, whether agreement, as per agreement, the quantities are there, any variations, modifications, and subsidiary agreement are there or not, funds availability certification is there or not, and that is also correct or not, and estimate provision not exceeded, allocation is as per the agreement or estimate that, and agreement and estimate, are they in agreement? These are the things that we have to see in the internal check. Internal checking section is, it is the job, it is a wretched job, actually. It is not that rosy. So many things, of course, everything, it has a reference point. That reference point is our code. I already told. So many reference points are there. Check them. Because your IPAS is allowing, don't think that you can do whatever you want. So proper certificate is coming that so suppose some XYZ engaged 4 outsourced person. So 4 outsourced person, they have rendered service or not. Let somebody write in the executive. And some 10 pens I have received. Okay, 10 pens have been received. Okay, let them write in the voucher when it is submitted in your impressed cash recoupment, DMT reference. Suppose leave salary they want to draw, let them send that leave account, whether that endorsement has been there or not. In the establishment firms, how many times you may have seen, especially in divisions, they are taking a life of our people who are working in the stations. They'll say leave account is not there and reconstruction. Yes, sir. At what cost? At whose cost? Then paid vouchers, of course, it has become redundant. It is important, but when all the vouchers that were paid have to come to our accounts department. If that is not coming, maybe that is a fraud bill, it is a fake bill, or wantedly that was it was not sent. When that paid voucher it is not coming up, also the book section, it gives acquittance. What kind of acquittance we are giving? Whom we are trying to safeguard? This is most important.
Good morning.
This is most important. The acquittance part also, it is related to our paid vouchers. Then each voucher is cancelled, a post paid voucher check, like that they will do that stamping. Whether this paid check nowadays, it has become most important, because in one of the cases, the paid vouchers were not available. When the paid voucher was not available, that means the transaction, original transaction itself is wrong, or maybe wrong. I can say we can presume that. So this is how How it is, but to the proper account it is going or not. Suppose Damodar Prasad account is there in Canara Bank. So that Canara Bank account should go. And in the Canara Bank also, Damodar Prasad, instead of Damodar Prasad, it is going to some XYZ. Then can we call it as a proper payment? Work was carried out by someone and we are making payment to someone else. Suppose I was not, the firm will give, please give to so-and-so account, so-and-so account person who is authorized signatory. Suppose some authority is given, yes, based on that you can do. But in accounts office itself, we are doing changes. Then whom to blame? Then whenever the catering accounts, P&L loss account, we have to check. And then registration payments and correct preparation of P&L account, how much loss.
ఎక్కడో మధ్యలో హ్యాంగ్ అయిపోతుంది సార్, అది ఇంకా మళ్ళీ ఆగిపోయింది. సార్ నో ఆడియో సార్.
Yeah.
No audio. No, it has come.
Coming.
Okay, sir. Please.
So, pro forma P&L account, whether it has been prepared correctly or not, and if it is loss making, let us show it as a loss making only. If it is profit making, it is fine. If it is a loss making, let management take a decision. That is how it should be done. Then wherever the grant is being given, whether that grant has been sanctioned by proper authority, and for that purpose only that grant is being utilized, and no new grant is given, and if any unspent amount is there, that has to be remitted back in cash. And those grants, whatever, suppose for our what can I say, for our institutes or for our clubs, wherever we are giving, or for our Kalyan Mandaps, whatever we are giving. So whether the accounts have been audited, and next time whenever SBF funds are taken also, next time when it is audited, then the further grant can be given. So that is important with reference to the catering and grants. But I am stopping it here because it is not, the internal check is not related only to these. The internal check is related to debts and deposits, that is civil grants. Internal check is related to our remittance transactions. Internal check is related to other department bills also. And coming to the establishment check, it is most important that quick payment, as earlier said, for expenditure, promptness, quickness is important. But the delay, accuracy is important as well as quickness. So this cannot be compromised. But the delay causes inconvenience to the staff. Suppose a driver, night duty he will be doing, and suppose you are not passing the bill, whatever sent by P branch, he has to come in daytime to you, and then he has to stand before you, wait till you come. Can he stand? Please think in those lines, especially establishment clients. Why a person should come to us? With that intention, we have to work. Then sanction of posts and clients, budget provision. Just like how expenditure, budget provision is important for controllable PUs. I can say controllable PUs like TA, OT, KMA, night duty allowance, all these are controllable because they are pre-checked by you. So budget provision, you see. Without budget provision, you are passing establishment claims, and thereby excess expenditure will be there. And pay bills in the computer environment, coding will be there, master data, change of data, because this is already given to officer level. Then memorandum of differences, absentee statement, scale check. Scale check is one of the most important, where the pinpointing is given and the number of staff that are available and for whom you are making payment, they are within the sanctions or not. And gross pay allowances, sanction to the post or not, is there or not. Order of appointment, you see, it is not a fake one. And date of joining, leave salary, whenever you are passing, you ask for a leave account of that particular period. And NPS, SAF1 was taken or not. We have got umpteen number of, in one division we have got a provisional para, and in another division around 6 crores. One more provisional para, draft para is ready. The people are getting recruited, and we are not, we means, say, railway department, I am telling, the personal branch is not taking SAF1 from them. And we are not, even though PRAN is available, PRAN is not available, and SAF details are giving a scope for audit department. So recovery lists, wherever PF and etc. recovery lists are there, whether it is coming or not, and recovery is watched through recovery watch register. Then pre-check of the TA, OTA, advances, LPC. Now, even though you can transfer on the machine, but LPC, that system is not removed. So that always you have to see. And input data and changes of the correctness is the responsibility of the bill preparing unit. They do that, but whether they have done it correctly or not. Suppose 10,000 rupees basic pay, 1 lakh basic pay is given, whether it is, you can see in the MOD. And there are now exception statements we are getting. In IPAS also, there are many exception statements that are coming. And those exception statements, the P branch, they can use, and we also can use those exception statements. On deputation, if someone is there, whether we are getting it or not. So these are the things we have to see. And especially in vested salary register, whether we are maintaining or not, service cards, leave account, and the leave certification, whether after doing they may not avail, or after availing how many days they availed, whether those things are coming or not. Cadre register, that total people are not more than the cadre strength, and sanction to the post in case limited currency is there, and assumption of watch of the currency, provisional payment, no pay beyond the superannuation. These things we have to do, and LPC, just like in non-guested, we have to see. And PF and pension, especially subscriptions, regular, it is there, recovery list is coming or not, withdrawals and advances properly as per the rules, IREM rules, whether we are doing, reconciliation with general books, whether we are doing it or not, issue of PF slips, transferring the closed account to deposit PF. When we will do? Only when a person resigned or no subscription is coming and he died. In such cases, we'll wait for 6 months, and then we have to transfer it to treat it as a closed account and deposit PF. And in the deposit PF, we'll wait for 3 years, and then in the third succeeding year, we have to send it to earnings. Whether these things are being done or not, we have to see. And with regard to pension payments, verifying qualifying service, arranging DCRG, leave salary, all those things, it is one aspect. Another one is pension debit check. Those things also we have to see. So that on some other time we'll deal with that. So pension debits checking, how it is being done, whether this is being done or not, that we have to see. Then, now, having said this, now you have done internal check with provisions, whatever it is available. Now, what is that you have to do? All the provisions, whatever internal check provisions are there, those internal check results, it has to be communicated to the executive. So irregular payment, it will be disallowed. That means prima facie evidence exists that it is incorrect. In such case, you can dissolve it or pass provisionally pending regularization. So payments made before the accounts office, that means impressed cash like, and found irregular during the internal check, we call it as objection. So we will keep under objection for regularization. But prima facie, all other things, if any objection it is incorrect, then we call it as disallowance. Then waiver of trivial objections, there are in the chapter 8 chapter, we have got certain things, and those trivial items, we need not put them under objection. Then these disallowances, disallowance list, we call them for establishment claims. And other than establishment claims, if you find any mistake, then we put them under objectionable statements. Then departmental officers record their replies, and based on that, you will be taking out from the disallowance list of establishment claims or objection statement. These are taken in the objection book, and then proper headings are there: want of estimate, excess over estimate, miscellaneous irregularities. This is objection book. So this will form the basis for your unsanctioned expenditure annexure A of appropriation accounts. And if anything, finally, suppose even executive whatever reply he is giving and it is not correct, then in that case, you will be, whatever you have disallowed finally, that you will be entering in the saving register. Please, all section officers, please note this. So this is the classification, okay. Then some subsidiary objection book, that is minor objection, petty objections. For that, you can open one register and you can watch. And all losses, serious irregularity, you have to keep separate register. And whenever audit comes, they will ask for serious irregularity register also from our internal checking sections. Then half-yearly review of this unsanctioned expenditure or objectionable items, it will be sent, prepared in the month of September and March. And September, in the month of September up to March, what are the objections? And March to September, how much we have cleared and what is the balance in the September, that will show. And in the March up to September, what are the objections? And September to March, how much we have cleared and what is the closing balance in March. So this is how we'll be clearing. So this is all about the internal check of establishment and expenditure claims. Of course, I got some case studies for paucity of time. I'm not showing them, like many frauds that took place all over Indian Railways, and remedial measures that were suggested by railway board and internally by our PFAs, whatever instructions they are given, we have to unscrupulously follow. Any laxity at any level, it will be a disaster. With these words, I am closing. Now I am open for your questions. I am ready to take your questions. Dear participants, thank you for listening to me. Please treat this as a positive, that is, just I wanted to tell that because it is coming in the IPAS, that we have to pass duly compromising on the internal check. So with that intention, this webinar was organized. So yeah, now.
Yeah, participants, please ask your queries.
Anashakar, you can unmute them.
Yes, sir. All are unmuted, sir. They can unmute themselves, sir. Now we are allowed.
You can unmute all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can unmute, sir.
Yes. Dear participants, any questions on this? Or rather than questions, I would like to listen to you. आपका जो भी आपका आइडियाज जो है वो मैं सुनना चाहता हूँ. ये इंटरनल चेक स्ट्रेंथन करने के वास्ते हमें क्या करना है?
Sir, there is a query in chat box asking by S.K. Nayak. Explain on MOD objection statement.
बिरबल, बिरबल बोलिए. Yeah.
Please explain on MOD and objection statement.
ऑब्जेक्शन स्टेटमेंट. या हमारा एक्सपेंडिचर में अभी तो इतना फर्क मैं बताया कि जो भी एस्टैब्लिशमेंट में हमें डिसअलो करते हैं वो डिसअलोवेंस लिस्ट में डालते हैं. डिसअलोवेंस लिस्ट. सो डिसअलोवेंस लिस्ट व्हेनेवर आई एम टॉकिंग वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एस्टैब्लिशमेंट क्लाइंट्स. एंड ऑब्जेक्शनेबल स्टेटमेंट इसमें जो एक्सपेंडिचर स्क्रूटनी में जो गलत आप समझ ही गया वो आपका एग्जीक्यूटिव को आप लेटर चिट्ठी लिखते. दिस इज ऑब्जेक्शनेबल. यू हैव टेकन द सैंक्शन ऑफ सो एंड सो बट इट शुड बी सैंक्शनड बाय सो एंड सो. Or you have allocated to so and so, it should be allocated so and so, where funds are not available. So like this, some objection you will be taking. So such items you have to necessarily write in the objection book. So in the objection book, whatever you are writing, those objections, whatever you are writing, those objections you will be sending in the form of a statement. Because खाली हमारा बुक में लिखने से कोई फायदा नहीं है. Because action has to be taken by executive. Let them take action. So that is why you send that objection. These many objectionable items are there against your department. So please take action as mentioned in our letters dated so and so, so and so. Like that you please tell. That is called objectionable statement. And objection book. ऑब्जेक्शन बुक में जो भी ऑब्जेक्शन आप लेते हैं वो ऑब्जेक्शन आप तीन कैटेगराइजेशन में डालते हैं. वांट ऑफ एस्टिमेट अभी नहीं है. एक्सेस ओवर एस्टिमेट जो भी है वो लिख दीजिएगा. और मिसलेनियस इरेगुलरिटी जो भी ऑडिट वाले पूछते हैं और हमारे अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट के हिसाब से हमारा इंटरनल चेक में जो भी मिस्टेक है वो पूरा उसमें लिख दीजिएगा. आप जो भी फाइंड आउट किए उसमें लिख दीजिएगा. And suppose that fellow has agreed, that means the executive has agreed and they have come back with yes sir we are withdrawing that bill. बेहतर है. Then you take that in the saving register. I saw in one case, in one division, say for my quarter, they have shown it as a whitewashed. But when I am there in the staff quarter, it was not whitewashed. Luckily or unluckily, that bill has come to me. I checked, then they withdrew that. So that has come in saving register. That is how we have to see. These objectionable items, it is one important area why we should keep. Because when the same objection is taken by audit, they will claim that this has been seen by accounts department, but it was omitted and we have taken that. So at that point of time, you can say that, yes, mister, it is not you who has found out, we have found out, see in my objection book, it is available. This is how we can protect ourselves. Yes, please.
Good afternoon. Sir, good afternoon. I am Rama from Central Railway. Sir, I wanted to know what is the relation between internal state that we account people conduct and how does it relate to the
audit? You increase your voice because
Sir,
today there is the net is not properly functioning.
Sir, good afternoon. I am Rama Gupta from Central Railway.
Yes, please.
I want, sir, the session was very good and very informative. I just wanted
Okay.
to know what is the relation between this internal check that the accounts people conduct and audit objections?
Hmm.
Is there any relation? Does the
Audit
accounts,
and internal check.
yes, yes, sir.
Acha, okay. Right. Internal check and internal audit and audit. I am making three different parts. Internal check is what we do with reference to our codal provisions, with reference to our with reference to our instructions, whatever they are available, with reference to the agreements, with reference to the estimates, whatever the claims that they come to us.
Yes,
so those items, whatever they are there, that is we call it as internal check. But the internal check, I said that beyond internal check, we have to go for the propriety of expenditure and the transactions, whether leakage of revenue is there or irregular expenditure is there. If such things we have to take into cognizance, then normally such items will be given to
Sir, earphone link disconnected, sir. Please check. Sir, audio, please. Please unmute yourself, sir.
So
Yes,
the internal audit cell is, it will be assisting the management. Whatever task they give, they do globally. Suppose on say PSC items, procurement is on high side. So PSC procurement, whenever it is there, our internal check people, they'll do the bills checking, etc., etc. But globally, why they will not compile and then they won't look at and they won't see how many PSC items they are doing and what is the total purchases and what is the percentage. All those things they will not look at. So such activity, suppose some GM or PFA or our FASNW, if they feel that how many PSA items this time, this year, how they did and compare with the last year and give me a report. That will be done by internal audit cell. Apart from that, now the audit being the constitutional functionality, they also can do their auditing. So their auditing, we call it as a statutory audit or external audit, we can say. So this is the major difference between internal check, internal audit, and external audit or statutory audit. But one important point is that the internal audit cell people, they can check on the internal check sections also because their role is bigger role. Their role is bigger one. And if any mistake in internal check are there, they are supposed to point out in their report. Mostly the reports, what they give, the reports what they give, they are all mostly used by our management, and mostly they are theme based. Will be doing that on lines with the external audit.
So the inspection section, is it under
Yes,
the
please.
internal audit?
Yeah.
The inspection section, is it under the scope of internal audit or is it a separate section?
Internal check is, please repeat.
So the
Madam, please
inspection
repeat.
section, The inspection section, that is TIAs and the inspection accounts inspection.
Okay. You are talking about inspection section.
Yes, sir. Whether
Okay.
they come under
Inspection,
internal audit
inspection,
or
yeah.
accounts.
Yeah, inspection section of our accounts department, it has got a limited role. It was clearly mentioned in our accounts code also what we have to check and what is the periodicity with which we have to check, and that will be followed by our internal by our inspection section people. That section officer or our accounts assistants, they do that job. But the topics that were given to internal audit cell are entirely different, and that will be given by the management. On so and so topic, you please check and let us know. That is what the mandate that will be given to our internal audit cell people. But whereas our general inspection, they do as per the codal provisions, it is also part of, we have seen now, it is part of our internal check. So as an internal check function, we do general inspections. So both are entirely different. And if any mistake is there, and that mistake they will be sending to the executive in the form of inspection reports, part 1 and part 2, and closure we will be watching. That is entirely different. And the report given by internal audit cell, it is used by the top management.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
सर
please.
सर
Yeah.
अक्सर देखा गया है एक्सपेंडिचर सेक्शन में फंड नहीं रहने के बाद भी जो है बिल पास कर दिया जाता है, उस स्थिति में अकाउंट को क्या करना चाहिए सर?
थोड़ा इलाबरेट करना, ये वॉइस ब्रेक हुआ और एक दफा बोल सकते हैं आप?
जी सर, जैसे सर कैश इंप्रेस में फंड अवेलेबल नहीं रहता है,
फंड्स अवेलेबल नहीं रहता, वो कैश इंप्रेस्ट में
जी, फिर भी जो है बिल पास करना पड़ता है, आखिर इसमें अकाउंट का क्या करना चाहिए जो इस पर जो है सर कंट्रोल हो सके?
आई एम सॉरी, वो वॉइस ब्रेक हुआ, फिर भी वो इम्प्रेस्ड में फंड्स अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं है बोल के नहीं बोल सकते, क्योंकि हमें इम्प्रेस्ड उसको दे दिया 25,000 या 40,000 कुछ ना कुछ पैसे दे चुके हैं, उसमें से उन्हें खर्च करना पड़ता है। वो खर्च करने में उन्हें वोचर्स लेते हैं, वो वोचर्स उन्हें रिसीव्ड सो मटेरियल बोल के भी देते और वो एलोकेशन भी देते, एंड इट इज आवर रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी while recouping the impressed cash, you will be allocating them and bringing them into the books of railway. That's all. That is the issue. अगर उसमें कुछ गलत हुआ, आपने आपका सैंक्शन मेमोरेंडम में कुछ पाबंदी लगाया एंड उसके ऊपर उन्हें खर्च किया, वैसा कुछ है, और आपने तीन शॉप से आप कोटेशन लेना, उन्हें एक ही शॉप से लिया, वैसा कुछ है तो आप ऑब्जेक्शन में डाल सकते हैं, डिसअलाउ कर नहीं कर सकते इम्प्रेस्ड में, क्योंकि वो तो पहले पेमेंट हो चुके हैं, तो इसलिए उसमें आपने खाली ऑब्जेक्शन में लगा सकते हैं, डिसअलाउ तो नहीं कर सकते। या प्लीज।
थैंक यू सर।
Any more questions, please? Or should we close, मणि साहब, क्योंकि इंटरनेट बहुत प्रॉब्लम कर रहा है।
Okay. Any more questions, participants? Okay, sir, that was a very informative and detailed session on the internal check, sir. The academy, on behalf of the academy, I thank the speaker of the day, Sri K. Damodar Prasad, for joining. I faculty inform for sharing his knowledge and his experience on the subject on this platform. Thank you, sir. Thank you. To remind tomorrow's topic, we have, that is on Monday, we have a session on leave rules. The speaker will be Sri J. Srinivas. The login timings will be at 11 o'clock. Session will start at 11:30 to 13 hours, please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.